Cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
I'm here with my man Jimmy True back again. We're gonna talk about Bob Marley and how this thing get down, man. Tell them how you met Bob Marley, big homie.
All right. My sister, she used to dance in an African dance group, you know, and Judy Mowat was her best friend. You know, she used to bring me to Judy Mowat when I was like 8 years old, and I always be singing like Michael Jackson songs. To the boy, I'd be like, yo, come sing with me, Jimmy, man. You must come sing with me. I was like, nah, I ain't singing. I can't sing with nobody. I can't go on those stages and stuff like that, you know. So that's where I met Judy. Then she started carrying me to Oak Road, to the studio where Bob was, you know. So I used to go up there. That's where I met him, man. You know, I met all of them. All of them that was in the Wailers, all of them up there. That's where I met them.
What year was this?
Might have been about 69.
All right, look into the camera, tell them.
Oh, sorry. It might have been 69, about 69, 68, 69. When I was starting going around them, you know. I met Judy, I met Marcia, I met Rita. I met all of the Wailers, Bob, you know, and all that. And one time, my sister was sitting beside me right here. Bob was sitting beside my sister. And Judy went in there and did her part. Marcia went in there and did her part. And Rita went in there and did her part. And I was like, you know, I like Rita on the best, you know. Like Rita on the best. I don't know who she is, but she dark skinned and she's not like other ladies, but she's very talented, you know. My sister was hitting me like this, saying, you know, stop talking about like she wasn't to me. I didn't know who she was. I didn't know she was Bob's wife, you know. I didn't know. I was just saying. Bob ain't saying nothing. Bob was just listening to me and smoking and split and shit and stuff. So when I went out the gate, my sister was saying, yo, you see, he's talking, that was Bob's wife. He was talking about, lucky thing you didn't say nothing. What more happened? You know? But I said he wouldn't have said nothing anyway, you know? But then that's where me and them kind of got close. And then up here now, he comes up here, come do interviews and stuff like that. So I used to go with him to the interviews. My brother-in-law is a journalist, you know. My sister's husband, she's a journalist. So he used to bring me all about interviews and stuff, you know. So one day, Bob had an interview in Times Square and stuff. That was about 16 in time. So it was about maybe 76, 75, somewhere around there, you know. And we in an interview and I was like, yo, Jinders, he can't speak a little better? You know? I was like, Jinders, you can't speak a little better, man? And just a talk right sharp what's up. He said, them dog understand him. Jinders start, like Jinders I said, I said, why? So when we left from there now, we went up to the hotel with him and shit. We up in the hotel. And this is the first time I've seen Bob get mad. Bob was like, Rita was there, Judy was there, Marcia, and their maid, because they carry their maids up with them, you know, that helped them. So me hear Bob said, yo, you don't put the food there. I said, no, I'm not putting no. So what can you come and find? Can you come and blood clot frying pan? You just sit down. I'm going to take care of business and you just sit down and you don't cook no food. How the blood clot here, nigga, you know? And I see, look, my Baba, them time I used to be dread that time. See me, I look at him and I said, oh, Baba talk to him so cross, you know. Look, I said, I chew Bob. Hungry, Bob get up from morning and go to interview and sit down up here with the girl then. Nah, the nothing, you know what I mean? You know? So, make the man food, you see. So
Where you come from? I cook.
yeah, that
You never do that, cook.
you know?
Yeah.
So Bob said, wait till me carry from a foreign for. You know? And then him come again. Last time I see him come again at Madison Square Garden, last performance. Them time them was sick. Me never know he was sick. You know? But then they're backstage with them and stuff. And perform. And thing and call it a night. Never know say him was that great, you know. I never really know. I just used to look at him as a regular guy, you know. But that's how he act. He don't act no kind of like no hype play, like, you know, act like he all of that and all that, you know, because he's Bob Marley. He don't act like that. If you don't know that he's Bob Marley, you wouldn't even know he's Bob Marley. He's a very humble person, you know? And I like that about him. And when I was talking about his wife, I would say she's kind of dark and all that. He didn't say nothing to me, and I'm glad he didn't say nothing to me when I was a kid. Because if he had said something to me, like, yo, he had talked with my wife, dark, so black and everything, maybe I wouldn't be outspoken anymore. Maybe that would have cut me down. Like, I'd been like, I can't talk how I feel in my heart no more, you know? Stuff like that. But he didn't want to kill my spirit as a youth. So he didn't say nothing, he just let me talk, you know. I like her singing and everything, so I guess I was just maybe talking about complexion, you know. And I said he didn't shut me down, so now I know that freedom of speech is you can't stop a kid from being themselves. You know, and these stories I'm telling y'all, I'm trying to save a life. You know, if I save one life, I've done my job. You know, the streets ain't nothing out there, but jailhouse, deadhouse, and wheelchair. Stay off the streets, man. Love your brothers and sisters.
So they know that you in a wheelchair. How did you wind up in a wheelchair? So they know that you speak from first-hand knowledge.
Okay. Yeah, you know, I had two shops. You know, I did a little bed, came home. In 10 months, I had 2 shops. You know, and I hired this kid working there, and it was a health food store. I'm paying him like 3 bills a week for the first month and a half, and then I started paying him $500 a week, you know. And then one day I saw a kid coming there, a Spanish kid came in and was like, yo, where the money at? I was like, shit, man, you coming here asking him for money for, you know? He was like telling him he soon come out or something like that. So I said to him, I said, yo bro, man, you selling shit in here, man. You can't work here no more, you know. I owe these people a little time, and I ain't gonna let y'all fuck me up, mess me up like that, you know. What you doing, bro? Get money and stuff, you know. Like, nah, I'm not doing nothing. I'm just telling y'all. I know it's dope y'all selling. It's not no weed or nothing. That's like heavy shit. I don't wanna go on no jail back, bro. You know, and I guess they got mad at me for that. And the next day I came there. I was standing at the door. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened to me. I was standing at the door. I bought a split, and a kid that always come to the store, every time he see me, he comes with his boombox, playing music and come beside me and shit, and playing his music and waiting for my split because I always give him half of the split. I'm not gonna give him the split and give it back to me. I don't do that. I give you a split, you keep that. I'm not smoking like that with nobody, you know? I don't do that. So he there, me and him talking. And this kid came from nowhere and asked me, where is the guy that work in the store? So I told him, yo, he's behind the counter, he's right here. So my store was like from here, the door was like from here to the counter was 30 feet. 30 feet of carpet, because I remember I just bought the carpet, store carpet, 30 feet. And I'm at the door, so I showed him in. When I looked in, I saw him talking to him. So two of them was coming out the door now, and the guy that worked for me now said to me, everything cool, Ross, man, everything cool. You don't have to worry, everything cool, you know? Okay. Everything cool. Anytime a nigga tell me everything cool, everything is hot. You know?
Tell him like that.
So, you know, so I was like, everything is hot. I know everything is hot. So I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I saw him walk across the street with the other guy. He bent down at the guy in a car. He bent down at the door at the guy, and the other one both that came to him went inside the car. It was like a black car, actually. So it was speaking. I wasn't paying no mind, but still I was on my guard because he told me everything cool. Now, that was my sign that I lived by. And time my manager tell me everything cool, always like super. You know, so they're talking to the kid, and I'm watching them. You know, so when he come back in, he say, "Yo, everything cool again?" And I was like, "Yeah, everything cool, man, everything cool." You know. So the kid came. Two of them came back in. So one of them was behind the counter. The one that worked there, the one that didn't work there, he was still talking to him. So then I see the guy that's in the driver's seat now come out of the car and start walking across the street to me, you know? And I was like, when he reached over there, I pushed the door open so he could come in. So when he was coming in, he held the door with his shoulder and he started pulling out on me, you know? So when I saw it, when I saw the handle, I just sucked him. I was cut these back. I just only been on 10 months. I was taking the shit from him, man. I was trying to get the dog from him. Cause you know why it took him so long? It was a long, the long Chrome 357 shit. So it took a long while to come out of his waist. So I had enough time to grab him and manangle him, you know, and look like skinny like the nebula, like to the seat and thing like that. So I was about to get it from him. But you know what? He kept his hand in the trigger. And he kept his cool because he knew what he was doing. And he squeezed the trigger. So I heard whoop! I said, Father God, make it with him, please. Please don't make it with me. Then he shot me in my leg. I got shot in when I was 19. He shot me in my leg and I feel weak. So I had to let go of the dog. And I dropped inside my store with my face down. And then I heard boom again. And I felt it hit my back. And I tried to move my feet. I couldn't move my feet. And I lay there like I was dead. I played macaroni on it, you know? I lay there like I was dead. And he shot up the kid that was beside me. I heard boom, 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 boom. He shot up the kid that was beside me. And stuff like that. And I laid like this to my face to the store glass. And Bob was there. I have a picture with Bob on my store playing soccer. And then Father God came to me and said, when he was in the people place, man, he was the best one to pull up on this. Why do you think he was the best one to pull up on this? Take your yourself up and take yourself out the store before they come down on you. You know? So I turned around and looked up. The nigga that came first that asked me where the other one was, he saw that I wasn't dead. So he pulled out a big ass black dog and started pulling on his hat and his head and started walking down on me. So I was like, Father God said, turn yourself around and get the fuck out of the store. You know?
Use the F word. Yeah.
Excuse me. Turn yourself around and so I was really gonna pull up some dips. So I turned myself around on my elbow because my foot was at the door. My face was at the fridge. So I turned myself around and I used my elbow and pushed my head, used my head open the door, the front door. And I went out on the sidewalk. And when I was doing that, I felt light like feather. You know, like God was lifting me. You know, they say it's the adrenaline or whatever. But, you know, so when I reached out, I turned over on my back. Now, I was on the sidewalk now. And I couldn't go no further. All my hand was cut up, my elbow and stuff. I couldn't go no further. So I turned over and I'm trying to breathe. Then the guy that pulled the gun, the second gun now, came to the door. And he looked at me. I looked back at him. And he looked up the block, down the block, and there was nobody coming. And then he looked at me again. And I just looked at him. And he just went back in the store, and they just run to the back door and left. You know, that's how I ended up in the stair. I always get shoot for stores.
Well, you got shot before? What happened all the time when you got shot?
But I was 19. I had 2 stores again. I had a store in Brooklyn on Utica Avenue and Beverly. I had a store on Gunning Road in Burke. These niggas was pushing up on me, these big men that I know. I know them, but they bigger men than me. They pushing up on me one month shop on Burke. You know, they trying to scoop up and so I went to the store and the kid told me they came and put him out and took the money out and gave him the money and said, give the money to me, but it's not my store no more. You know, and they changed the lock. And I was like, why they changed the lock? I was like, all right. So I went and bought a lock. The locksmith cut off that lock again, put on back my lock on. And I went to go look for them. You know, and I saw them. And I popped off on them. You know, they were at the open up on their ass, I empty my clip on their ass, and you know. I don't know how much of them get caught or nothing like that. I ran back. I came to an alley. I ran back to the alley and came back downtown. And the dude that did it was my elder friend, good friend. So I was telling him, I said, yo, your friend done lock up my store and took my shit. And I had to beat it up on them, you know. He's like, what? Nah, I don't want you in them in no more. I was like, yo, can't done lick already, Bertie. My business, can't done lick. He's like, come with me, go up there, I will talk to them. I will stop it. I was like, I ain't going back up there. If I go back up there, you know what I'm going back up there. He was like, yo, I don't want you and them in no war, no argument. Because it's my elder, and he's the one that, his house I grew up in, you know? His house I grew up in, you know? So, I was like, just for you. His name was Tony Dredd. I was like, yo, just for you, 20. So me and him drove back. I was driving. I had just bought Masha food and just buy one Mercury Montego. And looked like the Mercury Cougar, but I wasn't the Cougar. It was a Montego, and get the brother to the Cougar. But me got an iron, you know, them days there. I was 19, and we reached near the place. He asked me for his dog, because I walked, you know, and one of them was his at that time. but he don't use it. So I walk it, you know. So he was like, give me my thing, man, I go talk to them. So I take it out and game, you know. And he went and talking to them. And I'm like, oh, why don't you come? Whatever happened already done happened. Just come, let's go, bro. I'm not parking up like this. And so I saw this nigga coming up on me. Like, I see my neighbor coming up on me. But I know him. He killed some police and all that kind of stuff, you know? And he's wanted, so I know him, you know? I know who he is. So I was like, yo, my youth. Oh, yeah, come up on me, sir, brethren. You know, oh, me I come up on you, sir. Oh, me I come up on you, sir. So from seeing start this, I just get flat and I'm a car, you know? Bim, 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 bim. Look, I have 5 in my headrest. So now I'm 5th on the bumper, the big bumper, the thing in the car. And them car used to have a bump in the thing of them time.
Which kind of car that?
It's a Mercury Montego.
Well, yeah.
Like a Mercury Cougar.
I know what you're talking about.
Like about,
This one everybody else to know.
like about the 90s. I was 19, so that was like that was 78. So maybe it was like a 76. You know, it wasn't brand new. You know, I bought it at auction and shit. You know, I eat the food and I bought it and shit. You know, a whole different story with that. You know, but nigga hit the thing for me, and I know who he is. I know he's a killer. You know, so I know I can't play with this nigga. So what I did, when I touched my dog on the thing, right? I fired a shot through the top of my roof. Let him know, I'm heavy. You know? He said, whoa! My shit sounded louder than his. So I looked up, that nigga was running across the street, you know? So I started beating it on him now, you know? And he had beat back on me, and I beat back on him. And this other little nigga now come on this side now that have nothing to do with this one cloud open up on me on this side of my car. So I have my head down, I'm putting out my hand and looking. Blah! One, you know? Blah! One, I keep the two of them off of me and them change script on me and so to the thing, you know? So I did that on my 9 can, my out can, because I just empty a clip on the wire, you know? So on my 9 me have another clip, or a 45 me you take what special from me, one of my dad, you know, the extra. So on the 9 me have, so I have to lick it one, wow, to keep them off of me. So them stay off of me, still, wow, I can't touch my head too much because, you know, I'm on behind me and shoot at them, you know? So, because one time, you see blood clot done, you know? So I'm gonna put my head up underneath with the passenger put him foot. Put my head up underneath and stuff. So my body did that on the bump. The man them barrage up the car, beer can. I feel something that run through me like electric, you know? And I said, oh, they shooting up the car and the electric is shocking me from the car. They the wires, excuse my language. They messing up the wires and the wires, I'm getting shocked. And I feel another shock again. I was like, oh, I'm getting shocked, you know? But that day, I said to them, after I had opened up on them for locking up my store and stuff like that, and I left, I was like, yo, you know that I never got shot? Everybody shoot off of me. I could never get shot. Early that day, when I was going downtown to my friend's house, I was saying that to myself. Yo, the same deal, Mr. McCann get shot. You know? So, but then I'm going to say a prayer. I said, Father God, please let them stop. You know? You know? I can't take it no more. I said, Father, please let them stop fire so much shot. Crazy shots, kid. Everybody say that's the greatest shootout they ever seen in their life of that. They never seen no 2-pound one man and a man live. You know? So I'm gonna hold up my head now So one of them are the one I run, go down 221st Street, my bend the corner on 221st and Bronx, you know. I look at that one and go and see where him gone, you know. So I have to blow up, police are come now. I'm gonna act. They act some other kind of can and shit, you know, they act some shit. So it's a blow, now I get bite up here, you know. So some step out with that foot here. Out of the passenger side, you know, have 3 tires them shoot out of the car, all of the glass them shoot up, all of the side of the car, what? Yo, some step over there, shooter. This foot just went behind me like a limp. Just went behind me, and I dropped on my face, poof. And I crawled, I pick up my dog, I put it back in my waist, and I pick up my foot, and I put it on my lap. Then the kid that was with me, he came, he was like, yo, you pick up? I was like, you mean if I pick up? What do you think? You know? Because I was kind of tight, I didn't have the other thing, you know? And he didn't help. You know? Because one of the niggas that was standing behind, like he was here, he was behind the kid, and he had a dog. And he said he went into shock. He said he seen them killing his friend, and he couldn't do nothing about it. You know? So I was like, yo, drive away from right here, yo, drive me away from here. So I pick up my foot, and I put my foot up on my shoulder up here. And I hop back on with this foot, I hop back in the car, the passenger's car. And he had my foot up here all the time. He was driving me down the block, but he looked at me like scared, you know? And he took out the dog and threw it in my lap. When he threw his shit in my lap, I opened it, I saw 6 in it, I was like, I locked it. I held it in my hand, I was like, this nigga ain't even help me, you know, but it's okay. I don't even know I opened nobody, you know? So he was pulling over in this dark ass place where nobody is, no street light, nothing. You know, I'm gonna leave you here, I'm gonna go get some help. I was like, yo, you ain't leaving me here to go get no help from me, bro. Drive me to Magenta and Odenville. Don't leave me here. Come to go to Pepper House. Don't fucking leave me here, man. You ain't leaving me here. And he saw it on my face. I had his thing. You know? He saw it on my face. Said, yo, this nigga, you know, in this time, this is my life. You know? And he started driving. He came to his senses and said, okay, I'm gonna take you to Magenta. And Odenville, I said, hey, take me over there. So he was driving. And these DTs was passing. They looking. I told him, stop the car and go look around it and act like you get a flat, you know? And stuff like that. And then police them see my look around and they just kept passing, you know? And then he brought me to the Odenville Magenta and I tell him, call a cab for me. Tell the cab I fell down some steps and I need to go to Lincoln Hospital. So I took a cab from Gunner Road, that's near Magenta right there, and go downtown to 174th O Avenue, pick up my baby mother. When she come in the car, I tell her, yo, I told the man, y'all going to Lincoln. She starts screaming, what you going to Lincoln for? You get shot. I was like, nah, I ain't get shot. I was like, why you get shot? Right? I fell down some steps, you know? So I reached back at Lincoln now. I just picked up like $100, gave it to the cabman, you know? I was like, yo, go on. When the stretcher man then came, I was like, yo, go on. The stretcher man then kept asking me what happened. I told him, I fell down some steps. So I wanted the taxi man to leave so they can't know where I was coming from, you know? So they put me outside of the emergency in the hallway. I'm waiting there, you know, for about half hour, 35 minutes. And the nurse came out to me and was like, how did you break your leg? You know, I said, I got shot. She was like, you got shot? You out here? She just rang a bell and pushed me inside, and everybody was just running around. Doctors was coming from everywhere. He got shot. And they cut off my clothes off of me with scissors. He's like, you got one shot here, one shot here, one shot here. But I got shot 4 times. I fucking feel like I got shot 4 times, you know. And the police then came and was like, yo, where he get shot? I told him I got shot over university. I got shot over university in 170. It's 2 guys were shooting out. And I got shot. So you got shot by both strays from the 2 guys. You got 2 different kind of bullets in you. You got 2
2 strays.
2 different kind of bullets in you.
Yeah.
So and the 2 of them shoot you straight by accident. Yeah? I'm like, yes, sir. Okay, we're gonna go over there and check it and come back. He said they go over there and come back. Yo, they say no shooting up, never happened over there. They shooting. I said, mister, I don't know what to tell you, but that's where it happened. I don't see these guys were shooting out. I was walking in the middle and I tried to run and they shot. You know. Then they just left. They left then some other was a Saturday night, because I remember I was dressed clean. And I'm a turleen and I'm wool and my knit yams like this. I'm crisp. Be a Jimmy at the night there. And doctor them say, yo, we can't operate on you right now because worse people than you come in. People get shot in their head, people get shot in their chest. So we can't operate on you now. So I was like, mister, can you give me some pain medicine then? Because the splinter of my bone is chicken me like a 1,000 needles in my flesh. It was like, we can't give you nothing. You gotta just wait till, you know, they put us spleen, some things that want crutches that people walk with. They put two on my foot and tie it around and carry me upstairs to this place. And when the man pushing me on the bed, every tile that went boop, 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 hurt in my foot. I felt the 100 jukes, 1,000 jukes every time. I couldn't wait to reach the room. I reached the room, I'm there like, I was in the room from 10 o'clock at night, I got calm, till 10 o'clock in the morning. They come for me and said, they ready for you for surgery now. You know? And I was like, yo, thank you, but I can't take the pain no more, you know? And they operated on me and they put my foot in. I woke up, saw my grandmother there, saw my uncles, my other little shot-up friend. He was there. I was telling him who did it. I was like, yo, wait a minute, do it. You know, he was like, nah, that's cool. Don't worry about that right now. That's cool. They put my foot in. In them days, they put your foot in tractions. An iron thing. Mm-hmm. They screw something through my knee, below my knee bone right here. And they said they gotta break it. And they wind it in and break my bone. And they put a screw in. And they put cords on it and put your foot up. I had to stay like that with my foot up for 3 months. Contractions. And then they came back, it was like, your bone roll back now. We gotta take out the screw that we put in to hold it up. You have to break back the bone again. Break back the bone. They didn't give me no pain medicine or nothing. And they put a big cast on my leg. And they put a rubber thing over here so on 2 sides to my leg, my knee wouldn't freeze. My knee was always open to swing. And I had a cast on my leg for like 8 months. I had a cast on my leg. One time I saw the nigga that was coming up on me. I saw that nigga in Brooklyn. He was coming out of a Haita restaurant. My leg was in the cast. I just stopped. I saw that nigga open up on that nigga. That nigga run like teeth. I was backing up on his church. Beating that nigga running. Because his friends told him, because he think, the leader that he come from some fashion niggas. The leader told him, yo, you shoot the wrong nigga and make him live, nigga. You shoot the wrong Jimmy. You shoot the wrong nigga and make him live, you know? He was just a wicked guy. Because after that, he shoot my friend, and crippled my friend. My friend went on a worse with him. And he bought a big house in Long Island, you know. In his house, my friend told me he was just something that told him to look back. He was coming down the step from upstairs after they come off the food, the works. He saw the nigga with the gun in the back of his head. The nigga still fired it and went through his mouth and went through the back of his neck. He said he just dropped. He said, "Pool, no, I have no feelings." And him come on, and he came over me and was getting ready to shoot me in my head. And his brother ran after him and said, "Yo, don't shoot him, man, don't shoot him. Leave him, man. Nobody shoot him no more. Nobody shoot him no more." He said that's only if his brother wasn't there, he'd have killed him right in his house in front of his kids. Yeah. You know, that's all the days was back then, you know.
You know, already know, you know. It's definitely an interesting time. Cut this one, we're gonna get the
You tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend that unique Mecca Audio got it going on. Alright.
Hey, make sure you get this joint. It's bananas. A roaring Harlem at roaringharlem.com. You ain't gonna find another better book. Yo, get this joint while supplies last, because I'm telling you, the best book you're gonna read, 5 stars, is crack.